Something strange is happening in the richest country on earth. You feel it when you walk into the grocery store. The same basket of food that cost $60 last year is now nearly $100. Families are counting every dollar, crossing items off their lists, making trade-offs no one should ever have to make. Milk, up. Eggs, up. Bread, skyrocketing. Even rice, even beans, the cheapest staples, are slipping out of reach for millions. And it's not just a minor inconvenience. This isn't a budgeting issue. This is a survival issue. People are skipping meals so their kids can eat, working 2 jobs and still falling behind, seniors rationing medications to afford groceries, lines at food banks stretch around the block in cities across America, and all the while, the cost of living keeps climbing. But here's the part that doesn't make sense. At least, not if you're playing by the rules we were taught growing up. While millions of us are tightening our belts, a small group of people, billionaires, are somehow getting richer. Not slowly, not incrementally, but massively, explosively, unfathomably richer. Since the pandemic, billionaire wealth in the US has increased by over $2 trillion. That's not a typo. $2 trillion. In the time it takes you to watch this video, billionaires will have made more than most families earn in a year, just from existing assets that grow while they sleep. So the question is, how? How can a system allow record profits and record poverty to exist side by side? How did we get here? And who's benefiting from it? This isn't just about food prices, it's about a broken system, one that rewards wealth, punishes work, and feeds off the quiet desperation of ordinary people. This is the story of how billionaire wealth is exploding, while the rest of us can't even afford groceries. What you're about to see isn't just about rising prices or greedy corporations, it's about a system, decades in the making, that was built to make the rich richer and keep the rest of us treading water. We'll break down why your groceries, rent, and gas are draining your wallet, while billionaire wealth is compounding at record speeds. We'll show you how chaos, from pandemics to inflation to war, doesn't harm the elite. It fuels them. And more importantly, we'll uncover who's profiting from your struggle, because behind every hardship you face, there's someone cashing in. This isn't an accident, it's a feature of the system. And if we don't confront it, it only gets worse from here. So buckle up, because once you see the truth behind this crisis, you'll never look at your grocery bill the same way again. The average grocery bill is up over 20% compared to just 3 years ago. And it's not just food. Rent is up, gas is up, healthcare costs, skyrocketing. But the one thing that isn't rising is your paycheck. If prices were rising because people were doing better, that would be one thing. But they're not. Instead, families are cutting back on basics, skipping meals, delaying doctor visits, even choosing between heat and food. In the wealthiest nation on the planet, more than 44 million people are food insecure. That's 1 in 7 Americans who don't know where their next meal is coming from. But somehow, even in this storm, corporate grocery chains are raking in record profits. They blame supply chains, labor, inflation. But their earnings tell a different story. This isn't a market correcting itself. This is a market extracting from you. And it's hitting the working class the hardest. And all of this is just the surface, because behind these rising prices is a bigger game, one being played at the top. During the pandemic and inflation crisis, while millions lost jobs and lives were flipped upside down, US billionaires gained over $2 trillion in wealth. Trillion, with a T-Tech CEOs, real estate moguls, finance giants. They didn't just survive the crisis, they cashed in on it. As small businesses closed and families struggled to afford groceries, the ultra-rich were buying more homes, more stocks, more influence. They own assets, things that go up in value when everyone else is going down. Stocks, real estate, tech monopolies. And in times of crisis, those assets explode. It's not hard to see the divide now, it's a canyon. Today, the top 1% of Americans own more wealth than the bottom 90%. Combined, that's not capitalism, that's feudalism with Wi-Fi. So if you've been wondering why the game feels rigged, it's because it is. And the ones winning aren't playing fair, they're playing a different game entirely. Here's the dirty secret. Billionaires don't get rich from income. They get rich from assets. Wages are taxed. Wages lose value with inflation. But assets? Assets grow. And inflation actually helps them. When inflation rises, prices go up. So do rents, property values, corporate profits, stock prices. And the billionaires who own those assets, they cash in. Let's break it down. You earn a wage. They own the company. You rent an apartment. They own the building. You buy food. They own the supply chain. During crisis, they don't just survive, they thrive, because every panic is an opportunity, if you have the money to play the game. In 2020, While millions were laid off, the stock market exploded. Tech giants like Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft posted record profits, and billionaire shareholders reaped the rewards. Because when you own the assets, you don't work for money. Your money works for you. And for the ultra-rich, it never sleeps. The rich don't just get lucky, they get protected. This system was built for them, by them. While you pay taxes on every dollar you earn, billionaires use a maze of tricks to avoid paying their fair share. And in some cases, pay nothing at all. Offshore accounts, tax havens, stock buybacks, shell companies. The tools of the ultra-rich aren't taught in schools, they're protected by law. When the economy crashes, they get bailed out. When you fall behind on rent or groceries, you're told to work harder. They call it capitalism. But real capitalism doesn't include bailouts for billionaires and bankruptcy for workers. In fact, some billionaires pay a lower tax rate than a school teacher, nurse, or truck driver. And when the rules don't work for them, they change the rules. Lobbying has turned democracy into a business. And you're not the customer. While billionaires get richer, millions are skipping meals, working 2 jobs, or living paycheck to paycheck, just to survive. They say the economy is doing great, Wall Street is booming, but ask the average American, and you'll hear a different story. Parents are juggling bills, choosing between gas or groceries. Elders are cutting pills in half to make prescriptions last longer. This isn't bad budgeting, it's a broken system, and it's breaking people. Millions are doing everything right, working, saving, sacrificing, and still falling further behind. And still, the wealth keeps flowing upward, faster than ever. This isn't just numbers, this is pain, this is struggle, this is real. Ironically, much of the wealth explosion is being fueled by the one sector that promised to make life better: technology. Big tech says it's building the future, but for who? While profits soar, warehouse workers collapse from exhaustion. Coders get laid off by email. Gig workers can't afford gas. Automation and AI are replacing jobs faster than people can retrain. And often, the people losing jobs are the ones who need them most. And as the AI gold rush intensifies, the tech elite are cashing in, even as they cut costs and lay off thousands. Meanwhile, the gig economy, sold as freedom, has become a trap. No benefits, no protections, just apps and algorithms deciding your income by the hour. Tech promised to make life easier, instead it's making life easier for the rich. Is it just capitalism, poor policy, corporate greed? The truth is, it's all connected. Capitalism, unchecked, breeds inequality. Deregulation lets the powerful thrive while the rest of us struggle. And tech? It's become a tool for profit without consequence. Politicians have enabled this system, signing laws that favor the rich while stripping protections for workers. Every policy, every deal, every bailout is a reminder. They work for the powerful. And the people? We're left paying the price. But it's not just them. It's us too. We can't keep turning a blind eye. It's time for us to demand accountability. We have the power to change the course, to hold those at the top accountable. But first, we must open our eyes. Change is possible, but it starts with awareness and action. Together, we can turn this around, if we demand it. A wealth tax could finally start balancing the scales, taxing the richest to invest in healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Closing tax loopholes that let billionaires avoid paying their fair share would force them to contribute to the system that helped build their wealth. Labor organizing is crucial. Unions have always fought for fair wages, better conditions, and a seat at the table. It's time for workers to unite again. We must break up monopolies. No company should hold the power to crush competition, control prices, and dictate what we need. Supporting local, ethical businesses over massive conglomerates is a small but powerful way we can all contribute. But none of this works unless we hold our lawmakers accountable. We have to vote, organize, and demand change from those in power. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with you, it starts with me, it starts with us, demanding the future we deserve. If you're tired of being squeezed while billionaires profit, you're not alone, but silence only helps them win. We have the power to change this system, but it starts with awareness, it starts with action. Drop a comment below. What's the one thing you'd change about this system? Smash that like button if you believe food shouldn't be a luxury. And subscribe for more breakdowns like this. Together we can expose the truth. Together we can demand a better future. Groceries shouldn't cost your dignity.